this very important announcement of Senate Bill 1011 that we've just introduced. We believe that this bipartisan measure will do four things to help us compassionately clear encampments across the state of California. Clean up California and protect public health and safety. First, it will prohibit encampments near sensitive community areas of schools, open spaces, and transit stops. Regardless if a shelter is available, this will help us protect our most vulnerable population, our children, seniors, and families. Second, the bill prohibits camping on sidewalks if shelter space is available. This will help protect pedestrians' need to utilize sidewalks for travel without unfairly inconveniencing homeless individuals. Third, it requires a 72-hour warning before an encampment sweep. This will give homeless folks a chance to find alternatives and hopefully the services that they need before their encampment is cleared. Fourth, the bill requires enforcement personnel to provide information about sleeping alternatives, homeless and mental health services, or homeless shelters in the area. This will help connect homeless individuals that desperately need these services as we compassionately clear these encampments. Every Californian deserves a path off the streets, and our bill will help make that happen. California has spent $22 billion in the past 6 years on homelessness, and what do we have to show for it? Nearly a 40% increase in homeless population, encampments filling our open spaces, our sidewalks with trash, needles, and human waste. Children being exposed to open drug use and dangerous situations. Our state has over 181,000 homeless individuals. That's about the size of the city of Glendale, or 1/4 the size of the city of San Francisco. Californians should not have to tolerate this drug use and crime that has become a hallmark of so many of our cities in this state. Look around you. Clearly, California's current approach to homelessness is failing, and Californians are tired of it. This is not a partisan issue. We are proud to have 18 bipartisan co-authors of SB 1011. We know that clearing encampments is possible when the political will is there to do so. Just take a look at how quickly San Francisco cleared their encampments for the APEC convention just a few months ago. San Diego gets it. Our proposed law is modeled after the city of San Diego's unsafe camping ordinance, aimed at preventing homeless encampments from being near sensitive areas. They are having great success so far with their ordinance, and we hope that we can take this success across the state. Cities across the state, including Sacramento, Los Angeles, Santa Cruz, and San Diego, are taking action to protect sensitive community areas from encampments. We simply cannot continue allowing people to live in or around our schools, transit stations, and open spaces. This is a public health and public safety crisis. It's inhumane and it's unhealthy for our state to continue looking the other way. Finally, let me emphasize it is not our goal to criminalize homelessness, but to protect the public and to help lift the homeless individuals off the street through a compassionate approach. We are asking Californians who are fed up with the homeless crisis to sign our petition in support of the bill. We have a strong coalition of supporters here today, including Escondido City Council member Joe Garcia, social media influencer Richie Win, homeless advocate Brett Bowman, and bipartisan co-authors of the bill, including Senators Katherine Blakespear, Maria Alvarado Gil, Kelly Ciarto, Rosalicia Ochoa Bogue, Brian Daly, Shannon Grove, and Assemblymember Lori Davies is here as well, and Republican leader James Gallagher. Thank you all for being here. At this time, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Senator Katherine Blakespear, who is the principal co-author of the bill, and to talk about the measure.
Thank you. Well, good morning. I'm Senator Katherine Blakespear, and I'm proud to be a principal co-author on this bill. I represent San Diego County and Orange County. And I support this bill because, simply stated, we cannot continue to allow our public spaces to become living spaces. Unfortunately, every month in this state, street homelessness grows. Many of us see this in our communities every day. We see the poor souls who are sleeping outside in the rain, like just in this last weekend. People wrapped in makeshift cardboard, some with blankets, others without. within the shadow of the California state capitol, just feet from where we are right now, here in this great state of California, which is the 5th largest economy in the world, there are encampments on city streets and in our parks. Some people with dogs and dog food and no place to use the bathroom and small fires and an ever-expanding footprint of stuff and trash in the public right-of-way. Collectively, we have to be clear-eyed here. We are tolerating this. We as a society are tolerating this here in California. And we are allowing it to happen, and we are allowing it to grow every month. This is a true humanitarian crisis that we see unfolding in front of our eyes that needs urgent attention. And we here standing on this stage are not alone in saying this. 70% of California residents identify growing homelessness as the top state problem. 70%. Whenever I walk by someone who is suffering outside, I feel the twin sensation. I feel compassion and a tearing at my soul as a human for the suffering of that fellow human. And I also feel helplessness and anger about the fact that we are letting this happen. Because it's happening, many people are not using sidewalks or the parks or the open space. People are changing their routes. People like me are deciding not to walk home 7 blocks from the state capitol and to take a ride instead. This bill is part of the solution. I believe that housing is a human right. There is a right to housing, but there is also a corresponding obligation to use it. This bill says that people may not camp within 500 feet of schools. They cannot camp in open spaces and at transit stops, and on sidewalks when shelter is available. Both the author of this bill, Senator Jones, and I come from the County of San Diego and represent part of the City of San Diego. And this bill is modeled after a successful program that the City of San Diego has that went into effect in July. San Diego's unsafe camping ordinance has had ripple effects that benefit everyone. It has broadened the discussion of homelessness, and it's created forward progress where before there was inertia. When it went into effect, there were more than 2,100 San Diegans living on downtown streets. And this is a specific number of blocks that is counted every single month by downtown partnerships, more than 2,000 people. And now there are 846 people living on downtown streets. Still too many, but a 60% decline. The city has what's called a comprehensive shelter strategy, which has resulted in safe designated camping sites, saying you can't camp here, but you can camp here, and those are being well utilized. There are construction of all sorts of housing solutions: single room occupancy, rooms, shelters, permanent supportive housing, market rate housing, and there's the current evaluation of repurposing military barracks. If people aren't going to be living outside, they need to be living inside. And laws like this one will help create the momentum that is necessary to push all levels of society to create those inside living places. We all deserve to have public spaces that are clean, safe, and feel inviting. We also deserve to have open spaces that are protecting nature, that do not create a flow of human and animal waste, trash, and debris into our waterways. The goal of SB 1011 is a responsible and humane approach to cleaning up encampments, and I am a full supporter of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Blakespear. Next is Councilmember Joe Garcia from the city of Escondido.
Thank you, Senator. Buenos dias. My name is Joe Garcia, and I'm a city council member in the city of Escondido. Escondido is a vibrant community with a rich tapestry of cultures, talents, and aspirations. Yet, amidst our prosperity, we cannot ignore the plight of those who find themselves without a place to call home. The issue of homelessness is not just a statistic or a headline. It's a human crisis that touches the lives of our fellow residents, our neighbors, our friends, and even our families. From the point and time count in 2022 to that of 2023, it has showed a major increase in the city of Escondido among the homeless population. In 2022, the unsheltered were 182. In 2023, the unsheltered grew to 304. Now, realistically, in Escondido, the more accurate number is closer to 600, counting those in emergency shelters, transitional housing, and unstable housing situations. I was the only elected that went out to do the time the point and time count. I was the only one to spend time in the middle of the night getting to hear the stories. In addition to the years as a chaplain with the police department, to hear the stories of the homeless. I remember one particular story, Robert. We were driving on one of the major thoroughfares in Escondido when I noticed at one of the windows right at the library of Escondido, a bicycle stopped. Caught my attention, and I looked to the right and I see somebody possibly sleeping, so we stop, we conduct a survey, and we offer Robert a card. We said, so you can get a hot breakfast at McDonald's this morning. He smiled and he said, I work at McDonald's. I'll be there in a couple of hours, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to go today because I'm getting sick. You see, he was getting sick because for the last few nights where he was sleeping outside next to the library window, it had been raining. Those are the stories that we hear. We must approach this challenge with empathy, compassion, resolve, and accountability. It is not enough to simply acknowledge the problem. We must take meaningful actions to address it. That's why I stand here with Senator Jones and support his legislation, for it will provide compassionate, safe, and accountable solutions. But let us never forget that behind every statistic, there is a person with a story, with hopes and dreams, and with inherent dignity and worth. Together we can build a future where every individual in our communities across California can have safe and a stable place to call home, where no one is left behind or forgotten. Let us embark on this journey together, united in our commitment to create a city, a community, or a state where compassion, humanity, and accountability prevail. Gracias.
Thank you, Councilmember. Next is Senator Rosalía Ochoa Vogue, and she will be giving her remarks in both English and Spanish.
Thank you, Senator Jones. Hoy me uno a mis colegas para apoyar el proyecto de ley del Senado 1011, o conocido en inglés como SB 1011. Es evidente que California se enfrenta a un grave problema de personas sin hogar. Nuestras calles, una vez vibrantes, ahora están llenas de personas sin hogar que usan cualquier cosa a la vista para crear refugio. A menudo, estos campamentos se expanden más allá de las banquetas, obligando a las personas a encontrar una forma segura de caminar o, peor aún, impiden a las personas caminar por ese lado de la calle. Entiendo que esos refugios improvisados son por necesidad, pero mi preocupación está con las personas viviendo en esos campamentos y la seguridad de nuestras familias y niños. SB 1011 busca despejar con compasión los campamentos cerca de áreas familiares como escuelas, parques y guarderías, permitiendo que las familias continúen con su vida cotidiana sin temor de los peligros que representan las personas sin hogar con problemas de salud mental, la basura que dejan y los objetos de uso de drogas peligrosos. Debemos trabajar para cumplir con las necesidades y la seguridad de todos los californianos, conectar a las personas con alternativas locales para dormir, servicios de salud mental y proporcionar un aviso de 72 horas antes de reubicar a las personas en estos campamentos logra un equilibrio de responsabilidad y compasión necesitado para abordar este problema. Thank you, Senator Jones. I join my colleagues here today in support of SB 1011. It is evident California is facing a severe homeless problem, as mentioned by my colleagues. Our once vibrant streets are now laced with homeless individuals using anything in sight to create shelter. Often, these encampments expand beyond the sidewalks, forcing people to find a safe way to walk around, or even worse, deter people from walking through that side of the street or even visiting businesses. While I understand these makeshift shelters are out of necessity, my concern lies with their safety and the safety of our families and children. SB 1011 seeks to compassionately clear encampments near family-friendly areas such as schools, transit stops, allowing families to continue to go about day-to-day life without succumbing to the dangers posed by homeless individuals with mental health issues, trash, and dangerous drug paraphernalia. We should work towards meeting the needs and safety of all Californians and connecting individuals with local sleep alternatives, homeless and mental health services, and providing a notice of 72 hours before relocating the individuals in these encampments strikes a much-needed balance of accountability and compassion required to address this issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Ochoa Bogue. Next is Brett Bowman, a formerly homeless Californian who is now an advocate for the homeless. Brett.
Thank you, Senator. My name is Brett Bowman. I used to be homeless and struggled with a meth addiction. All my life belongings fit in a shopping cart. I used drugs to numb myself from the pain and anger of a catastrophic life event. I'd lost my son, and instead of seeking counseling for my mental health issues, I resorted to the streets. That's how I became homeless. Last year, I stood with Senator Jones as he introduced a bill which called for compassionately clearing homeless encampments. I was sad to witness the bill's rejection in the Capitol. The people elected to this building are supposed to help solve problems, not stall them. I am standing today with Senator Jones again this year as we once again address this issue with an improved bill. I am extremely pleased to see a bipartisan group of lawmakers here today on tackling this very real crisis, as it should be. This is not a Republican or a Democratic issue, but a California issue. If you care about what is happening in California, I urge all members of the California State Legislature to join Senator Jones and these lawmakers. Let's get this bill passed and signed into law. Drive down the streets, walk down the road. My story is not alone, nor unique, and the California needs to step up and tackle this issue. Senate Bill 1011 is an important step. Together we can make a difference. Thank you.
Next, our final speaker is Richie Win. And Richie is best known for exposing the homeless crisis in San Francisco on social media through his Instagram page and other social media outlets. Richie Win.
Thank you, Senator Jones. Good morning. My name is Richie Win. I'm a lifelong San Francisco resident, and I've never seen such an exponential growth in homelessness. These unhoused individuals have a negative cascading effect on all the society as we know it. Just the unsanitary conditions alone, with no running water, we have so much human waste in these dense downtown areas of San Francisco. It's kind of hard to justify not putting these people into some type of treatment or some type of homeless shelter. The children that have to witness this stuff, San Francisco is unique in that way that these homeless encampments are actually pressed right up against our houses and the places that we live, and at the transit stops where the children have to take buses. I have documented several videos of children traversing through homeless encampments and open air drug markets, and it's really disheartening coming from San Francisco and really seeing that and having them having to deal with that every day. The burden for like security and cleanup to small businesses and big businesses alike is unfair to put that burden on them. We've seen so many places close in San Francisco, retail stores, restaurants, even big chains like Old Navy, the Whole Foods in my building got shut down. And our first responders in San Francisco are overworked and understaffed, and they don't have the framework to clean up this issue with the given laws that we have right now. So that's why I'm supporting this bill. From San Francisco to San Diego, Senator Jones has my support. I just want to remind everybody that, that us as average voters have been leaving this homeless issue up to the senators and the politicians and the nonprofits to kind of clean up. But do not get it mistaken. The average voter and the average citizen knows that this money is being squandered. We put so much money towards this issue and it's only got worse. So I'm really hoping that this bill is going to help that, and it's going to help my city. And just remember, we rent here and they tent here. So we need to get these individuals cleaned up to the point to where we're not being held hostage in our own cities. Thank you very much.
Mr. Win.
As has been stated, I want to thank all of the co-authors and all of the advocates that joined us this morning, and thank you for showing such strong support for this legislation. This bill strikes the appropriate balance between accountability and compassion in helping tackle the homeless crisis while putting public health and public safety as its top priority. I encourage everybody to follow me on social media to keep updated on this important bill and all things California at SEN Brian Jones. And at this time, I'd be happy to take some questions if there's any questions from